Good day, my plant foldies. This is Richie at Grow Folds, and today we'll be doing a big box store plant shopping video at Lowe's at South Preston Road in Plano, Texas. It is a rainy, cold day in North Dallas, but I want to make sure that I get you guys some daily content. So I've been visiting a lot of stores today, and we are going to be visiting Lowe's. This one I haven't visited nearly as much just because it's further down south from where I typically go, but we will see if this Lowe's has a restock. So as you can see, we enter this place right over here, and on the very left, we are already seeing some plants right here. So they typically have this little display of larger foliage plants, and what's awesome is these large plants are on sale right now. Look at this croton. I know some viewers are not necessarily into croton, but I've actually gotten into them, and if you ever watch the other videos that I've done, this is a typical croton you will see by Costa Farms, Exotic Angels, in like a 3.5-inch pot. But you can see that the more mature croton, very nice looking. I love the variegation. And this one is listed for $19.98, but Lowe's, at this Lowe's at least, it's on sale for $14.98. So that is not a bad price at all for a fairly large developed plant. Now with crotons, the care tips is you definitely need to give it a lot of bright indirect light. It doesn't like to stay on the wet side, so you want to go ahead and just water it and then let it dry completely before you water it again. The only pest that it's susceptible for is most likely like spider mites, maybe some mealybugs, but for the most part, crotons are very hardy when it comes to plant pests. It does get finicky if you move it around a lot, and it does not like the cold. Otherwise, the leaves will definitely drop. It actually does better outside, to be honest. And then we have some Monstera deliciosa right over here, some Ficus laurata right over there. Those all need bright and direct sunlight or light. And then we have some Dracaena fragrans right over here, the Hawaii form. Now, these large plants are awesome just because they are listed for $19.98, but all of these plants on this shelf is for $14.98. So if you live in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, definitely go to this Lowe's off of Preston Road. It's the southern Lowe's right across from George Bush Tollway. This is a really nice looking Dieffenbachia. It's a little bit more narrow form. This is a Dieffenbachia maculata. It definitely has very high variegation. And with Dieffenbachia, you definitely need to make sure you have a lot of bright indirect light. It does not really tolerate low light conditions like maybe an aglaonema or some of the other easier care plants. Dieffenbachia are also toxic to pets and small children, so be careful and wary if you're going to add a Dieffenbachia in your collection. It definitely has higher maintenance plant care just because it does need higher light conditions, and it's susceptible to spider mites. We have right over here some Dracaena marginata. Love this particular Dracaena marginata just because of the very faint pink and cream leaves. I am just panning over here to show you how delicate the leaves are. It's like walking through a little bit of a highland, high grass area, but yes, that is a beautiful Dracaena as well. And then we have a yucca plant right over here. Yucca plants are very common as well to find in like offices and just corporate settings. And then right over here we have for $14.98 the palette that you often see from Costa Farms. At least they've sent pallets out to Lowe's with these trending tropicals for $19.98 originally, but now it is $14.98, at least at this Lowe's. This is a Scindapsus trubii moonlight, beautiful foliage. I love the silvery leaves. And then speaking of silvery leaves, I've shown this before, but this Alocasia dragon, silver dragon, is beautiful as well. Now, the Costa Farms trending tropicals, at least the ones that are being restocked at Lowe's, do not have the self-watering planters. Honestly, I prefer that, so I would definitely get trending tropicals at Walmart versus Lowe's, at least this season, just because it's the self-watering planters, and I'm not really a fan of the ceramic glazed planters. Nonetheless, it works for some people, but for me personally, not so much. And then we have a Xanthosoma, I think that's how you pronounce it. So this is an interesting trending tropicals for $14.98, at least on sale. And look at how beautiful the veining of the leaves are. It reminds me of like a Caladium / Alocasia. Now, as far as care tips, I'm not 100% sure, but I think it would be similar to like Caladiums and Alocasia. And then we have some more right over here. As you know, I love aglaonema, and you will always see at least one aglaonema red Siam over there. And then we also have some Calathea right here. But these are the new planters that Costa Farms has put in their selection for the 1598 pots right over here. This one is really nice. I like the honeycomb texture, the matte finish of the blue, and even the Calathea looks really nice as well. This is a Calathea medallion. Now, Calatheas, we all know, are very finicky. I would say the best thing about Calatheas is if once it's established, it's not nearly as finicky. You do need to give it some high humidity and water regularly. Then this one right here is a beautiful aglaonema red Siam or aglaonema aurora. I would say with the aglaonema, as long as you don't overwater it and give it bright indirect light, it will thrive for you. They are a little bit slower growing, but they will give you such beautiful, colorful foliage. And then I'm going to look at this Dieffenbachia again. Look at how beautiful the variegation of the leaves are here. So as I make my plant content and videos, I definitely want to give you guys more close-up high definition of the plants, because even when I film on my iPhone 14 Pro, if you guys are interested in what I use, I don't always see the details until I replay the video back on like a 55-inch flat screen TV, and I'm like, wow, there's a lot of high definition. So I really hope you guys enjoy the production value of my videos. I try to give you guys plant IDs just to educate anybody who's wanting to learn more about plants and just plant care. So it's not just a typical shopping video with, you know, me mentioning the plant names. And I did want to pan over here, guys. Let me know what you think about this egg chair. I've been looking at different types of egg chairs, but this one is really cool. I know typically you would put that in like a back patio or a front patio, but I'm really curious to see if I could add this into my living room. I would think having like an egg chair with like plants that are trailing over it and around it would be really cool. But now we're gonna go walk over to the garden section or the indoor greenhouse. So this Lowe's has a different section, so it's not connected to the actual main store, which I like because they can feature more plants, and it's got like a greenhouse effect. Now there was a Lowe's way out on I-75 that did not do well just because I think the heating went out, but you can see here it is super warm. It feels like a greenhouse, and there are quite a bit of plants. I've featured this Lowe's before, but during the time when it was like bright afternoon sun and the lighting was awesome. Today it's raining and gloomy, but hopefully this cheers up anybody's day just looking at greenery. I know when I shop for plants, it always puts me in a good mood just looking at greenery and plants in general. And that's probably the reason why I have been making so many big box plant shopping videos, because there are a lot of selections and I get to talk about plants, give you guys my commentary. And I do feel like sometimes I am rambling, but it seems like you guys appreciate the content. So I cannot thank you Plant Foldies enough for always tuning in, especially for those that tuned in last night. It was almost 10 o'clock when I premiered, but there were like 50 plus people on the live chat. So that was amazing. And what else is amazing is I love the urban jungle hanging baskets. What I like about it is the macrame hanging fixture that it's on, and also just a plain terracotta pot. This one is an Epipremnum aureum golden pothos. Beautiful golden pothos. Is actually highly variegated, so I really like that. And then we have some live transplants over there on this end cap. We have some more hanging baskets right over here. We've got a Pachira aquatica stump or a money tree plant, a Jensen ficus right over here. Do you guys actually like the top dressings of some of these plants where they put like, you know, fake moss on there? Honestly, I'm not a fan. I don't really like top dressing unless it's done tastefully, like maybe with like some simple pebbles or rocks. But the regular, like, I don't know, moss, it just doesn't do well for me. And I honestly feel like the moss would trap the soil and keep it a little bit more moist than it needs to be, which means it could lead to like root rot, or even invite a place or an environment for fungus gnats to grow their eggs. So, but I did want to show you this. This is another Photonia that I've been looking at several times. This is a hanging basket by Exotic Angels Costa Farms. This is the Photonia Pink Wave. It is a larger leaf form of Photonia, and what I love about it is look at how beautiful the pink veining is of these leaves. I like the texture of the leaves, also the curling of the leaves. Now this hanging basket right here is for $19.98. Hanging baskets by Costa Farms are a really good value just because you get an exotic plant. I would say they have more diverse hanging baskets, and the plants are typically healthy, depending on the big box, whether their plant care is there, or if you get lucky and literally get to a big box store like Lowe's where they've just unloaded a pallet and the plants are just coming out fresh from the pallet. And then here we have another Epipremnum aureum. This one is a marble queen pothos. I love marble queen pothos just because of the variegation. The thing about marble queen pothos is you have to give it bright indirect light to maintain its variegation. Otherwise it starts to revert. But if you give it more light, it will definitely give you lighter foliage. This one is a hanging basket red marantha. So red marantha or marantha are part of the prayer family. They're very similar cousins to Calathea and Stromanthe and marantha, and then just the original prayer plant. So they all have similar care tips. They need high humidity. They're kind of finicky when it comes to watering, so you have to keep the soil moist. It's the same thing with this fern right here. Fern typically need higher humidity and a lot, and their soil needs to be moist. They definitely do not need to be drying out. We can see over there, we have some more plants here. Another bird nest fern. That one's a beautiful shaped plant. And then we have these urban jungle planters of Stromanthe triostar, and I became a fan of Stromanthe triostar because look at the leaves. So you can view this plant from the bottom view and see the red leaves, or you can look at it from the top view and see how beautiful the cream green variegation, sometimes pink variegation of this beautiful Stromanthe is. Again, Stromanthe are similar to Calathea and Maranthas. They are part of the prayer plant species where they kind of move their leaves throughout the day to reach for light. They definitely do not want to be dried out completely. They like fairly moist soil, and actually water too. If you can water your Stromanthe plants with distilled water and not hard water, you will have least likelihood of leaf damage where they won't have like brown crisping. They do require higher humidity as well. So sometimes I will put my Stromanthe triostar right next to my humidifier in my living room and just give it a little bit boost of like humidity. It is currently my Stromanthe triostar is actually on top of my fridge in my kitchen, and it is doing well just because you can view it from the bottom and see that there are some pink and magenta color. So I like that a lot. It's actually not been as finicky. Honestly, in my most recent plant journey collection, just adding plants like Calathea and Stromanthe, they haven't given me a lot of hard times. Now, I did have my Calathea orbifolia be dramatic and like fall over, and not crisp, but just fall over. So I ended up watering it, and then like the next day it was perked up. So, you know, if you want dramatic plants, Stromanthe are one of them as well. What else do we have here? We have some more urban jungle planters here. I do like urban jungles planters more so than maybe Costa Farms, just because they have more contemporary modern, sleek planters. So I think that's really cool. And that Alocasia poly is beautiful as well. Now, all of those planters I just saw are all for $24.48. So just definitely check that out. This is a blue star fern. I do like how it has like a blue shine to it and a silvery leaves. And then we have a zebra plant right over here that is in bloom. And then we have another bird's nest fern. This is a really cool teddy bear vine. That one is by Costa Farms Exotic Angels for $19.98. That one is for I thought it was like a Tradescanthia, but it's not. So that was my mistake if I was calling it a Tradescanthia, but I do like the fuzzy foliage of it. And then we have some more ficus bonsai right over here. The thing about bonsai is I would consider those more like pre-bonsai because the planter they have them in are not, I don't really like that. And then we have another croton right over there. That one's for $13.98. And then we have some more bonsai right over here. If I were to buy one of those bonsai, I would definitely repot it in like a shallow square or even rectangle bonsai pot. And then we have another blue star hanging fern basket. And then we have some more majesty palms. Majesty palms are a staple at any big box store. You will always find that at any store, and actually you will find them even at grocery stores, maybe even a hardware store. I don't know why there's so many majesty palms. Not to sleep on it. Like if you grow majesty palms, that's awesome. They're just so readily available. And then we have another urban jungle right here. This one is a Dracaena warneckii white jewel. Beautiful plant right there. And then we have some more palm right here. I'm going to show you this beautiful Rex begonia as well in a hanging basket by Costa Farms, Exotic Angels. Love the magenta, purple, silver foliage, and then also just the outlining of this begonia is absolutely stunning. Now with begonia, I'm not really an expert of begonia. My grandmother is, so I don't know. Like some people may just be able to grow plants better than others, and my grandmother is one of them. She can grow begonia like they are weeds. And then speaking of begonia, this one is an actually interesting begonia because you see that it's shooting out more little babies. It almost reminds me of like a spider plant. So I'm not sure if those little babies are something that you can snap, put on like moss or like soil and just propagate it. But this is a beautiful strawberry begonia. So it's definitely not a Rex begonia. It looks beautiful in the veining, and if you come up close to it, it's got very fuzzy petioles, and even the leaves and the undersides have a different color interest. So this has so many textures to the plant that gives you different interests. I have actually been looking at getting a strawberry begonia hanging basket. We will see. And then we have a Raven ZZ, and then another Philodendron Moonlight. I love neon yellow plants. That one is by Urban Jungle. And then we have another hanging basket of Epipremnum aureum neon. That is by Urban Jungle as well. So we've got a lot of Urban Jungles featured today. I typically show a lot of Costa Farms plants, but today we will be looking at Urban Jungle. And this one right here is another Dracaena that's actually on clearance for half price off. So if it's $13.98, take 50% off of that, and you will get a beautiful planter and a beautiful plant. And then we have right here a variegated Peperomia or tussifolia, beautiful variegation here. The texture of it reminds me of a Hoya just because it's got that waxy texture. Very easy to care for plant. Just make sure you give it bright indirect light. This one is for $13.98 as well. I would totally pick up this Urban Jungle planter, but I'm very particular of it. I wish it was either just a plain terracotta with no textures or patterns like this. But this one right here is a Dieffenbachia Camille. Beautiful Dieffenbachia, just needs a lot of bright indirect light. And then right over here, my favorite of all the Urban Jungle plants so far is the Philodendron Hederaceum Lemon Lime for $13.98. I really want to find a hanging basket of Philodendron Hederaceum Lemon Lime just because look at how electrifying and yellow and bright the foliage is. It's beautiful. And I actually find this croton right over here by Urban Jungle beautiful because look at the leaves. It has more of like a Philodendron Bitophyllum type shape, or just a philodendron leaf shape right over here. Look at that. Beautiful pink variegation, green variegation, black variegation. It's got a lot of interest. I definitely want to get one of these. This one is for $13.98. And then here we have a marantha, or not a marantha, a prayer plant. I like how it has very delicate leaves. They remind me of like bird feathers, but these two are very interesting Urban Jungle plants. All of them are for $13.98. These three would be my selection to add to my collection. Now the prayer plant has a little bit of browning. What I would do is take some sanitized scissors and just trim the brown edges off, and then voila, you've got a beautiful looking prayer plant. But nonetheless, I will show you a couple more Urban Jungle plants right over here. We have another Dracaena marginata. We've got a Janet Craig Dracaena right over here, some palms. Here is another croton right here. Now this one is a croton mame for $13.98. I like the croton mame just because of the fiery red leaves. And then we have some more trending tropicals, Raven ZZs right over here. Very common these days to find them. They are for $19.98. And we have a large bird of paradise right over here. I can't really grow bird of paradise just because I don't have nearly as bright lighting conditions. But nonetheless, it is a beautiful plant. And we just have some more plants here. Now, this is really cool that they have some more, let's see, some more philodendron here. So we have some philodendron, this is either a Philodendron Moonlight, I'm not 100% sure. And then this one is a Philodendron Prince of Orange. Really nice looking philodendron, and this one is also by Urban Jungle. So this Lowe's right over here has a lot of Urban Jungle plants. Now I will say that their main flat of plants right over here is not nearly a stock, so I would give it another week or two and I will visit this at Lowe's again and see if they get fully restocked with some plants. We have some more chocolate anthurium right over here. I do love the Raven foliage that it has, that black foliage, and then also the blooms right over here are super cool. It's interesting how some plants are dark in foliage, like almost black, and then we have plants that are like neon and yellow, and then we just have some that are cream and variegated. That's the beauty of plants. The diversity of foliage and blooms is awesome. My latest video from last night had a lot of flowering plants, so I hope you guys can take a look at it. It is a big box plus like local nursery tour. So that's what I've been doing, my big box shopping tours. I want to show you guys a big box place like Lowe's, and then also a local Dallas nursery like Callaway. So stay tuned also for the second part of the video. I hope you guys all stay and see what else I've got in store for you. Those aglaonema right there were also aglaonema Golden Bay. We have some more anthuriums right over here, some beautiful orchids. Lowe's definitely has the most diverse selection of orchids. I would tell you that these Philodendron orchids are healthy. They've always got different colors and just so many different orchids. Like you will look at a lot of grocery stores, they'll have just Philodendron orchids. And right now we are looking at Philodendron orchids, but Lowe's has like Calathea orchids. And then wow, right over here, jackpot. I haven't seen this at a Lowe's. Check this out. This is another Philodendron ring of fire. It looks like a trending tropicals plant that was just pulled away, but doesn't have the planter. But this is a Philodendron. It's being called a golden violin. It's interesting that they have different types of color, plant IDs, but that looks like a Philodendron ring of fire. And this one is for $19.98, typical Costa Farms trending tropicals price. Not a bad one at all, but we are seeing so many Philodendron ring of fires everywhere. They're showing up at big box stores like Walmart, Lowe's, grocery stores like HEB. So we will see if it's the year of the Philodendron ring of fire. But we are looking at some more orchids right over here. We've got a hanging basket of bromeliads. We've got some air plants here. We've got some more beautiful urban jungle hanging baskets right over there. The planters are really cute. And then we have some more hydroponic Calatheas right over here. This one is an orbifolia. Look at the roots. Sometimes I'm like propagating plants in water just to look at the roots. Those are super cool. And then we have a juniper right over there. I don't know why they are marketing a juniper as an indoor plant. That needs like bright light, full sunlight all day. And then look at this right here. This is another strawberry begonia, and that's what I was talking about. Do you guys just like snip all of those little babies and then like put it in like soil? How do you propagate this begonia strawberry? Now I do like this. I probably should have picked up this begonia strawberry just because it was in a smaller hanging basket for $15.98. And then we have some more Epipremnum aria, marble queen pothos, and neon pothos, and we have a cordatum right over here. I did want to show you this cordatum. Nice looking heart-shaped leaf right over here. Sometimes just having green, really lush green foliage is all you need to put in your plant collection. I know oftentimes we look at variegation, different colors of leaves, but just a solid green is also beautiful. And I did want to show you some more of the plants underneath here. These are more exotic angel plants. We've got a Dracaena Warneckii lemon surprise, very nice looking one. And if you look at the videos of the bigger plant nurseries in Dallas, you will see full mature versions. Those get really large. It's the same thing with this. So this croton mame for $7.98. If you saw the beginning of this video, you'll see that these crotons get really large. I do find this Hydra helix right here, this Hydra helix, guys. We love some Hydra helix. This one is for $7.98. It's the mini colibre ivy. And what I like about this Hydra helix is it has cream variegation, and then the leaf shape is a little bit more round and like pointy as well. But I love the stark neon variegation. Like it looks like a random variegation of it. So there's so many things going on with the leaves. It just doesn't have like a green and like cream variegation. There is some neon green, some different types of green right over here. So a lot going on with this Hydra helix. This is one that I will definitely add to my collection if I can successfully grow my Hydra helix for a month without getting spider mites. So we will see. The Hydra helix challenge is still on. And then we have some more exotic angels right over here by Costa Farms. We have this planter for $22.98. Another beautiful Dracaena lemon surprise. These are all by Urban Jungle, and I like these Dracaena. Dracaena are so easy. If you don't have one in your collection and you have the space, add that. They can tolerate lower light conditions and don't require a lot of water. And then right over here we have some hanging basket crates of staghorn ferns. Those are beautiful as well. And then we have some more exotic angels right over here. Now all of that flat is for $5.98. And then we have some more Monstera deliciosas right over here for $14.98 on sale. So these are looking a little bit sad. They're a little, some of them just are not as full and lush. And then we have some more bromeliad kokedamas right over here. What else do we have? We have a Vanda orchid. You know, I have to show you guys Vanda orchids every time I go to Lowe's. Vanda orchids are beautiful because of the large flowers they produce, but also the beautiful aerial roots that they have. That's just absolutely stunning. I'm definitely going to add one to my collection. I just need to figure the space and lighting conditions for it. And then we have another Philodendron hederaceum lemon lime. That's another Urban Jungle hanging basket. And then we have some more Phalaenopsis orchids right over here. We have some more Dieffenbachia camille's right over here. These are for $12.97 or $12.98 for a 6-inch potted up Dieffenbachia. As you can see in the label, they require a lot of light. So I haven't been able to successfully grow Dieffenbachia just because I don't think I can provide it the lighting conditions it needs. And for anybody that's watching that is a beginner at plants, it's very easy for us to pick up a beautiful plant like this one that we're about to approach, a Dieffenbachia maculata, or even that Ficus lyrata. But you have to think, do you see those windows on the right? You need to have that type of lighting to be able to grow those plants successfully without them getting leggy. Like, you'd be able to grow them and keep them alive, but they would start shedding their leaves and then they would get very leggy. I do want to pan over here and show you guys some more hanging baskets. This one is a really cool Epipremnum aureum enjoy. I love the more stark variegation, or actually it could be pearls and jade, but it looks more like enjoy. Let me know in the comments what this pothos is, if it's an enjoy or pearls and jade. I'm going to lean toward more enjoy just because it has more sectoral variegation. And then we have some more Urban Jungle plants here. We have a Ficus elastica ruby. Beautiful plant for $21.98. I'm going to take this down and show you the foliage. Now, if you want a Ficus elastica or rubber plant, if you have a local Trader Joe's, go there because you can get a plant like this and maybe even multiple plants in a 6-inch planter for $12.99 versus $21.98. Now, if you want the actual terracotta planter that Urban Jungle offers, definitely get it. Just I think you're paying more for the planter versus the plant. This is another Ficus lyrata right over here. I was really excited to get a Ficus lyrata for 99 cents at a local grocery store called Sprouts. So we will see. I know that Ficus lyrata are a little bit more finicky. Just like Ficus, they don't like to be moved around a lot. Otherwise, they start dropping leaves. But the one I got so far is doing well. And maybe someday I will have a very large Ficus lyrata growing in my home. That's the thing. My only critique for Urban Jungle is if they're looking for like an urban vibe, a lot of people are more about like simplicity. Like even this hanging basket right here, this one is Live Trends actually. And what I like about Live Trends is they have more simplistic planters. I like that it's a matte stone looking planter and just very minimal like textures. That's kind of like aesthetic I like. I don't really like all that etching that Urban Jungle has in their planters, but nonetheless everybody has their own aesthetics. That's just mine personally. And then right over here is one of my favorite Phytonia. This one is a Phytonia Juanita, and that one is for $5.98. We are seeing some self-watering planters. This one is a really cool one. This is a Dracaena Hurricane, but look right there. Do you see those two white spots? That's mealybugs. Definitely don't want to buy any plants within this area now just because of mealybugs. And then we have another Syngonium. I think this fell out of one of the Urban Jungle planters, but look at how beautiful like the light bronze peach foliage it has. I think this Syngonium will actually color up more if you give it more bright indirect light. And then we have some more Dieffenbachia here. We've got some more Philodendron cordatum in a hanging basket here, some Kokedama bromeliads, and more Dieffenbachia. But if you notice, there was some mealy bugs. So I will say, if you go to a big box store and you see some pests on a plant, you definitely need to steer away from the plants. But if there is a plant you definitely want to buy, like something that you just can't not go home with, know that that plant probably has mealy bugs or some type of pest, and you need to spray it down with insecticidal soap, put some systemic granules, water it, spray it again, make sure that you keep it isolated from your plant collection. Otherwise, you will bring in more pests. That's what I do. I'm a little bit more insane with my pest control preventative. If you watch my unboxing video earlier today, you will know that I do take pest preventatives very seriously, just because it just will destroy a beautiful plant collection. Like literally, all of the plants here, if they don't get a hold of the pest control, could be destroyed. That's how serious plant pests are. And the reason why indoor plants or plants grown indoors are a little more susceptible to pests like mealybugs, fungus gnats, thrifts, spider mites is because outdoors there's no natural predators indoors to get rid of it. So like there are beneficial mites that you can put in your home. I haven't experimented on that, but you know, to get off of my ramble, this is a pretty decent Lowe's right here. It's not there's not a lot of plant selection by means, and I did want to pan over here. So some Lowe's has this little like spinning fixture with other plants, and they do have a bunch of self-watering planters of aglaonema red siams, and then we have some more red siams right over here. These are all for $15.98, and then we have some croton petra right over here for $15.98 as well. I just wanted to pan over at this Lowe's and show you what they have. So what I like about the crotons though is look at the leaves. Some people think that the coloring is too much. Honestly, I think it's really interesting and would make a very nice like centerpiece for like an area where there's a lot of green. And then we have some more anthuriums here. These anthuriums are beautiful. These are for $14.98, and then we have a small hanging basket of strawberry begonia for $15.98. Costa Farms has this. I probably should have picked this up. This could have been an impulse buy, but I'm trying to be respectful for my space because I've honestly bought so many plants doing big box shopping videos for you guys, and I don't regret it at all. I love plants, but I am doing a no plant buy for sure. It's a hard no for me, even though it would be a hard yes to take this hanging basket home, because look at how cute the little babies are that are coming off of this begonia. So I just think that's really interesting. And look at this. This is another hanging basket of Fittonia Juanita, one of my favorite Fittonias. And this is also for $15.98. So it's interesting that they have this fixture right next to the self-checkouts. For any plant lover like me, this could literally be one of those like impulse buys. They even have another not a staghorn fern, a blue star fern right over there as well in a small hanging basket. So if I am going to add another hanging basket, it would be a smaller version just like that. And it would probably be from Costa Farms, just because they have very cost-effective prices. And I'm just going to pan over here a little bit more to show you guys the plants. So somebody in the comments did say that those fixtures might feature some more rare plants, so I will be on the lookout for that. But now we are going to be leaving Lowe's, and we're going to be going to the next location. It's still raining right over here, but I do enjoy going to this Lowe's location. It was one that I frequent often a couple years back, and I like the fact that they have maintained their plants. And this is another Callaway's that I'm going to go to. This one is the one in Prosper, Texas, right next to the gates of Prosper, right in the heart of Prosper, actually. And this one is actually a video I filmed yesterday right after I got off of work. It was a little bit late. It was like 5 o'clock. And I just wanted to look at some plants and make sure that I give you guys another tour of the Callaway's Nursery. So a little bit about Callaway's Nursery for those that just tuned in. Callaway's Nursery is a local Dallas-Fort Worth chain of plant nurseries that specializes in outdoor plants, but has a huge selection of indoor plants. So I love that so much. And right now I am going to show you a little bit more details about the plants. I know that I showed you guys a lot of plants last night. Tonight I'm going to just show you some more detailed plants and maybe give you a little bit more care tips. So the first plant I'm going to feature right over here are the beautiful Syngonium. So this one right here, the Syngonium I'm going to pick up is a Syngonium Gold Glow. Now this one is in a 6-inch planter for $29.99. Not a bad price for a lush Syngonium, but honestly I would downsize and buy the 4-inch planter. It's $6.99 and you can actually grow a lush Syngonium. But Syngonium care tips: they definitely vine, so if you want to grow them up a pole, they will upsize and mature and actually change their leaves where they'll get more like trilobes. They definitely need higher bright indirect light. They can tolerate lower light conditions, but then they start to get leggy. The water Syngonium when they are full, like bone dry, let the soil completely water. You can fertilize Syngonium with like a mild fertilizer with like nitrogen. Maybe a 20-20-20 Miracle Grow would work for Syngonium, and you can fertilize them like maybe once every 2 weeks during the growing season. They're easy to propagate as well. So you can see as they start to vine, they have nodes. You would just cut underneath the aerial root nodes, and that's all you do, and you can propagate them in water. This one is another Syngonium though that I'm not 100% sure, but look at this. This one is for $6.99, so just 2 inches, and you get a better price, at least if you go to Callaway's Nursery. So if you are a local Dallas-Fort Worth plant peep, definitely go with the 4-inch Syngonium. It's $6.99 versus the more full lush Syngonium in a 6-inch planter for $29.99, so it's $30. But Syngoniums come in so many varieties. Their growth habits, some of them are more clumping like this Syngonium right here. There's so many plants in this one. It's ready to pop out for $29.99. I don't know the actual Syngonium plant ID for this, so if you know specifically what it is, please leave it in the comments or the live premiere chat. This is a beautiful Syngonium. I love how it's got like a bowl shape about it. So this would be a plant that I would display more so from a top view, just because it's rounder, it's fuller, it looks like a full bush of Syngonium. Absolutely stunning. And so this is another Syngonium that has more like of a clumping type. There are some Syngoniums like a Syngonium albo, Syngonium aurea that want to climb up and get very much leggy unless you put it on like a moss pole. And then speaking of like, you know, leggy moss poles, here we have some more hanging baskets of Philodendron Brazil. I did want to pan over right over here. So do you guys grow Pachira aquatica or money tree plants? I love this one specifically just because it is a stump of Pachira aquatica. I do want to add this money tree plant to my collection, but I would definitely add the variegated version. I just need to make sure I save some money and funds. This one right over here though is for $39.99 for this clump right over here. Really cool. A lot of people add this money tree for like feng shui or good luck purposes in the home. Money tree plants are easy to grow. They can tolerate lower light conditions, but like I said again, all plants do better in like bright indirect light. But this is another easy to care for plant. It is susceptible to spider mites, so make sure you stay on top of your preventative game. And then here's another Syngonium I want to show you for $6.99 for 4-inch pot. This one is maybe a Syngonium robusta. That's one right here, but I want to show you how you propagate it. So you see that node right there, you would just cut underneath there, let it callus for overnight, you know, maybe dip it in some cinnamon powder like I do, and then put it in water, and then you have another plant right there. It will root within like a week or two. By a month, you'll have a Syngonium ready to go into soil. So that's another thing as to why I find Syngonium like to be one of my favorite plants, because of the easy care and propagation potential. Here we are going to be looking at a Philodendron hederaceum Brazil. This one's in a 4-inch planter, and I like that some of these Philodendron Brazil aren't as highly variegated, but I love the very like pronounced stripe of yellow. That's really cool. And then this one actually has a different this one's actually more defined. Look at this. This one has started to vine. So you can see that the leaves are vining, and this could easily like be over like a bookshelf or a shelf, and you don't even have to like hang it. But look at how much of the vine is right over here. And this one is for, I believe, $7.99. Not a bad price for a 4-inch potted up Philodendron Brazil. I would say versus a big box store, you'll get a better, healthier, more full plant. at a plant nursery like Callaway's. They have some really good selections. Their plant supplier definitely sends them very healthy plants. I've never run into an issue where there was any pests, so like definitely take a look at that. And you can see right over here we have a bunch of hanging baskets of Epipremnum aureum. We have neon pothos, golden pothos, marble queen, and over on the right over there that I'm seeing is also some Hoyas. So it's just really interesting to see that there are a selection of plants. Like this one is a cordatum for $16.99, or a philodendron heart leaf shape. And you can see that it's already starting to trail. So with all of those philodendron, hederaceum or cordatum, you can grow them up on a moss pole, and their leaves will get larger, or you can grow them on a hanging baskets and their leaves will start to trail, although they will start to diminish in size the more that they grow further down. This one right here is an Epipremnum aureum, pearls and jade, beautiful variegation right here. And what I like about pearls and jade is even if you don't give it as much light as like a marble queen pothos, it will not revert in variegation. It will still hold its variegation. This one is an Epipremnum aureum marble queen pothos. This one is for $16.99 in a 6-inch planter. So this one's not bad at all. I ended up buying the 4-inch one. This one has decent variegation. Now I know you see a lot of like marble queen pothos at like big box store, especially at Home Depot. They have vigorous selections of hanging baskets. I would say these ones though are more perfect, you know, cosmetically looking, just because there's no damage in the leaves, there's no anything. It's all beautiful looking plants. I haven't really talked a lot about false being Aurelia, but this is a really beautiful one as well. And this one is for $19.99. I haven't really grown Aurelia, but they remind me of like parsley leaves. So those are kind of interesting. I would think they would require a little bit more bright indirect light. This is really cool. This one is a Hoya retusa. Very interesting, very delicate Hoya looking plant. And then we have another Pelea peperomoides, or a Chinese money plant, or you would also call this a UFO plant. Several years back, this was the it plant. Everybody was wanting to get one of those, and they were super expensive. Now you can find them at any big box store or a plant nursery. And then we have an Epipremnum pinnatum, Cebu blue. I love this on a totem. The thing about it is it's not big enough of a totem for it to continue to climb up, so the leaves did not upsize as much. And then we have some hanging baskets of Hoya, and I like this Callaway because it has a pretty good selection. These Hoya are actually for $29.99. This one is the Hoya Crimson Queen. So this is the queen, not the princess. This is the Crimson Queen. I love Hoya carnosas. I just like the leaf shape, and then the variegation of the leaves. This one doesn't really have any pink. It's more white, and it looks like it's sun-stressed because the leaves or the foliage are a little bit lighter. And then this one right here is the Hoya carnosa Crimson Princess. Absolutely stunning Hoya. Now this one right here, you can get this size Hoya at Home Depot for $19.98. And you can probably find one as perfect as this one. This one doesn't have any leaf damage. It looks perfectly healthy, and it is a good price for $29.99 as well. So it depends on what you want, but you can get that one at Home Depot for the same price and size. We have some Hoyas and then some string of turtles right over here. We have some more hanging baskets of Philodendron hederaceum Brazil. So I like that this Callaway's right here has really stylized and merchandised their plant. And then there's one more non-hanging basket for $29.99 of Hoya Crimson Queen. I may add this to my collection at some point. I have 2 Hoya so far. The next Hoya I want to get would be like a Hoya Chelsea. I think that's a beautiful Hoya. It's one of those Hoya that are just completely green, but I love the leaf shape. But let me pan out over here, guys, and show you Callaway's. This one is in Prosper, Texas, right in the gates of Prosper. So if you're a local, definitely check this out. This Prosper doesn't nearly have as much foot traffic as some of the Callaways you would see further down south in Dallas, but look at this one right here. So this one is a 6-inch Philodendron hederaceum Brazil, and it is already trailing. You can literally put this in a hanging basket and start hanging it. This one is only for $16.99. That is a really good deal. For my plant folies watching the live chat or even in the comments, let me know if you guys think that these prices for Callaway's Nursery is cost effective. Is it more expensive, cheaper? Let me know what you think. I will say I do buy a lot of my plants at Callaway's just because they have a really good like return policy. So if you end up killing the plant, as long as you have the dead plant, the planter, and your receipt, you can get a refund for it. I don't do it often, but I do cash in on that. And what happens is when I do like a return, I ended up spending more money actually because I end up buying more plants just instead of doing the return. But I did pan over some Hydra Helix and some Algerian ivy. This is actually another ivy that I would love to be able to grow indoors, but unfortunately these trays of beautiful Hydra Helix, guys, or even Algerian ivy will end up getting spider mites if you don't stay on top of it indoors. So just beware. And then we're going to look at some Sansevieria right over here. I like this particular Sansevieria, and this is the Sansevieria fernwood. I think it's the least finicky of all of them. This one's for $16.99. You can literally not water this fernwood for like 2 to 3 months and it will not die. It will not get dry root. It will not get root rot. It will not get any kind of fungus situation. It's just a very hardy Sansevieria. And then this Sansevieria moonshine is my favorite in terms of just the foliage look. I love the silvery, ghostly, minty leaves that it has. In order for it to maintain though its color, you do need to give it a little bit more bright and direct light. They always say Sansevieria are easy care plants because they can tolerate very low light conditions, and their watering conditions, you don't have to water it nearly as much, but they do end up getting like fungus or just some type of like rot if you overwater it, and sometimes if you underwater it. So they're not as easy as you think. This is really cool that is a shark fin Sansevieria. I've always known it as a whale fin, so I don't know what the difference is. And then we have some ZZ plants right over here, just the common ones. And then we always see very lush zebra plants, at least at Callaway's. And this one is a happy one because it is blooming. I love the very, yellow, canary yellow bloom that this zebra plant does. And then we have our classic Monstera deliciosa that is maturing very well. I want to pan over here. So it's fenestrating. It's got some secondary fenestrations because now it has the holes. Very cute looking plant. And let's see how much this one is. This one is kind of pricey, $59.99. I would go with a big box store if I'm going to buy a plant that large. And now I'm going to go show you guys some more aglaonema. So aglaonema are the king of all of my plants right now. I've been collecting aglaonema, and this one right over here is an aglaonema Golden Bay. Notice that there are some flowers, so this one is a more mature, developed aglaonema. It's also happy, so that's a good sign. The only thing is, if you're growing aglaonema, you need to cut those blooms immediately. Otherwise, it will stun the growth of the plant. It'll put more energy in producing blooms versus the beautiful foliage. This is another aglaonema I wanted to show you. This is the very classic aglaonema Silver Bay. You will find this at big box stores, grocery stores, plant nurseries, hardware stores, plant pop-ups. This is the most common aglaonema alongside with a aglaonema red siam. Nonetheless, it's for $16.99, and that is not a bad price at all considering it's already a large plant. And then right over here we have another aglaonema. I'm going to say this is an aglaonema Maria, but I feel like the aglaonema Maria has smaller, narrower leaves, but nonetheless, this is a beautiful plant too for $16.99. I like the diversity of aglaonema. So most of us will only see the green varieties, but if you look at aglaonema overseas, like Indonesia is the best hybridizer for aglaonema. You will see pinks, yellows, like all sorts of colors, all sorts of varieties, all sorts of leaf shapes. So don't sleep on aglaonema. I actually imported some aglaonema from an Etsy shopper called Barocas Plants. 2 aglaonema I would have you guys Google and search would be aglaonema Lotus Delight. It's one of the most expensive aglaonemas on the market and probably one of the most pink plants in the entire planet. So definitely check that out if you like pink plants. And then we also have the aglaonema Crown of Siam. It's absolutely stunning. But I am going to go pan over here and show you these camellias. So in the last video, I showed you guys a bunch of camellias. Camellias are another flowering shrub that I would love to add to my Japanese garden outdoor collection. I just haven't had the best luck in growing azalea, and they have similar care tips. But we'll go ahead and keep looking at this aglaonema. This is an aglaonema Lady Madonna. I love Lady Madonna just because it has very distinct white stems. I love white stem aglaonema, and I think that's what makes aglaonema cool, is because they have different leaf shapes, different patterns, different stem colors. This one is an aglaonema cutlass, for instance, for $16.99. This is one I definitely want to add to my collection. Every time I go to Callaway's, I am tempted to buy this aglaonema. But right now, with all the plants I've bought, I've got to get them organized because right now they're just on the floor. They're on my dining table. My bathroom has plants. It's just not styled well. I'm literally hoarding plants. And it does expose that I do have a plant addiction and I need help. Not really. I love plants, but I do need help in just getting the time, space to do so. Again, trying to give you guys daily blogs of plant shopping. Not that I'm complaining. I absolutely love it. It's actually plant therapy for me. It just has cut into my free time with some of my plant styling. I did want to show you guys this right here. So this one is for $12.99. This is an aglaonema assorted. Callaway's has a lot of assorted aglaonema in 4-inch planters. Unfortunately, they don't have the plant IDs, and I wish their supplier would. And then this is the second most common aglaonema, or maybe the most common aglaonema. You tell me if you see an aglaonema red Siam more so than the silver bay, but those are very classic aglaonema. I would say you guys should add that to your plant collection. I know it's an easy care plant, common, but it's a classic. And now I'm going to go pan over here to some Calathea. So I actually ended up killing my Calathea that I bought from Callaway's. This one's a 4-inch one for $6.99. It actually looked like this exact Calathea. This is a Calathea ornata, beautiful pink stripes. And then this one is the star of all the Calatheas that I have right now. This is the Calathea White Star. This one is also for $6.99. I have a larger version, and that's exact Calathea in my collection. I just couldn't resist just because of the foliage. And then right over here we have a Calathea Green Goddess for $6.99. Not a bad Calathea at all, and actually for a Calathea, $6.99 is not bad. So if you are at a local, definitely buy your Calathea from Callaway's. They have some very healthy ones right here. This one is another one for $16.99 in the 6-inch one. That's not a bad price for a Calathea White Star. I know that if you buy Calathea, some people have to buy it online. They don't travel as well in the plant mail. So if you can find them locally, definitely do that. And then this one right over here is the non-variegated jungle boogie, although they're calling this Philodendron tiger tooth, for $16.99. I actually am going to probably add this to my collection. I have the Philodendron golden crocodile, which is neon green, yellow, and then this is just a green version. I also have the Philodendron ring of fire, so it'd be really cool to get this type of Philodendron just with the serrated leaves. $16.99 is not bad at all. Love it. And Callaway's has the rare and collectible plants section right over here. This one is being called the tiger tooth, but you can see these are very sun stressed. These ones are for $29.99. They're calling this the Philodendron Ring of Fire, but I don't think it is because there is no variegation to warrant Ring of Fire. I think it's more of the Philodendron Golden Crocodile that's just been sun stressed. I could be wrong. And then obviously we've been looking at a lot of Monstera Thai constellations. This one at Callaway's, all Callaway's sell these 6-inch ones for $89.99. And now that there are so many varieties of Monstera Thai constellations, I would assume these are tissue cultured ones. Yes, these are for $89.99. If you're going to buy a Thai constellation, I would be more selective now than ever, just because you can find some that are lower variegated, very high variegated, some that have just a better growth pattern. I would just warrant that you can look at like Monstera Thai constellations in grocery stores, but if you're going to get one from like Callaway's, definitely check out the variegation because some are highly variegated as compared to others. Here is a Philodendron verrucosum for $29.99. I do find the Philodendron verrucosum beautiful. I do think that it is going to require a little bit more humidity just based on like the plant texture and foliage. Let me know if I'm correct or if it can tolerate lower humidity levels. That one's really nice. And then this is another Anthurium clarinervium, I think that's how you pronounce it, for $29.99. This one doesn't have nearly as like pronounced veining on the leaves, but nonetheless it's a pretty plant. And then we have assorted alocasia right here. These are all for $14.99. This one is an alocasia black velvet, and the reason why I think it's the black velvet is because it has more narrow shaped leaves. The alocasia ninja definitely has like a very circular rounder leaf, And then we have an Alocasia Tiny Dancer. That's super cute. The Alocasia Tiny Dancer would definitely work for smaller spaces. Now with Alocasia, just remember they do require higher humidity conditions. They are spider mite prone. You definitely want to let the water or the soil dry completely before you water it. And other than that, that's really my care tips for it. Let me know in the comments if you have any other suggestions for anybody wanting to grow Alocasia. That one right there is an Alocasia Silver Dragon. This one is an Alocasia Poly. Of all the Alocasias, I would not recommend the Poly, the last one I showed you, just because that always gets spider mites of all the Alocasias I've grown in the past. And then we have some hanging staghorn ferns. These are beautiful maidenhair ferns. Like, I think if I had all the humidity and the right lighting conditions, I would get a maidenhair fern. It reminds me of like ginkgo leaves or ginkgo biloba leaves. And if you guys want to know, I love ginkgo trees. They are my favorite trees alongside Acer palmatum, or what you would call Japanese maple. Here we have another Alocasia calcata. I think that's how you pronounce it. That one's a proven winners. Alocasia, and you can see that there are more assorted Alocasia. We've got some Anthurium right over here, some Philodendron verrucosum, and I wanted to show you guys this. This is a stunning Philodendron Florida green. So I know everybody wants the Flora Beauty, the variegated version, but look at how beautiful this is. This Florida green is for $149.99. It's already growing up a pole, so you can see that the leaves mature and get larger and have the mature leaf form. I've been showing you guys Philodendron Florida greens at big box stores, particularly Home Depot, because Proven Winners has like released it. But look at this right here. Look at the aerial roots. Look at the leaves. You can see how the leaves change in maturity. So I think that's awesome. And then we have some more Monstera Thai constellations right over here. Really like Monstera Thai constellations. And then we have some more Philodendron right there, a Monstera adansonii right over here, Philodendron tiger tooth, or I would call it jungle boogie. And then right over here we have some Calathea mosaicas. Not necessarily a fan of that Calathea. And then we have another Calathea white star here. This one actually has perfect leaves, no browning, no crisping. If I didn't have one already, I would definitely buy this evening, but I do, and it's doing well for me. And then we have another Calathea mosaica. This one's for $6.99. The thing about Calathea mosaica, there's just not enough interest for me. I know it's green, but if it's a Calathea, I need like some striping. I need some undercolor foliage. And then we have a bunch of bromeliads right here. The bromeliads I like are these ones right here. So if anybody can give me the specific bromeliad plant IDs or genus for this one, I would totally appreciate it. I just love how it's super pink. It just looks like somebody spray painted some pink on it. Same thing with this one right here. This one has some more variegation, but as you can see, even in the evening at 5 o'clock, this Callaway's is absolutely gorgeous. Now Callaway's is open 7 days a week from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. So I kind of felt bad filming, but it's only 5 o'clock, so I'm not getting there as we're closing. But and the workers have always been very nice, and I just like the fact that there's not anybody in here shopping but me. Well, I'm actually plant window shopping, but anyways, hope you guys like this video. I know that I've been combining big box shopping videos. Definitely want to give you guys a universal plant shopping video and then a more localized version, just to show you what plants they're available in plant nurseries in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and also compare the plant pricing. This is absolutely stunning right here, and I will see you on the next video. Bye.